What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and we're here with Danny Hugh, Corporate Development Manager at Neo Battery Materials. How are you doing today, Danny?
Good. How are you doing, Aaron?
Yes, I'm excited to have you on. So it's been a little while since we talked about Neo Battery Materials. Last year, we put out an update. So, can you start by telling us everything that you've been up to over the last year?
Yeah, sure. So let me just start by giving you a brief overview of our company first. So Neo Battery Materials is a technology developer of low-cost silicon anode materials for electric vehicle lithium-ion batteries. So we cut down the perversely long charging time of batteries today by enabling an ultra-fast charging characteristic by using silicon anodes. And we also can extend the runtime of the battery by increasing how much energy can be stored within the battery. And we can also reduce the overall cost of the battery itself through our proprietary one-step manufacturing process. So we're progressing faster than ever with over 40 NDAs signed with battery manufacturers, EV automakers, and chemical material companies that operate on the global scale. We're actively undergoing sample evaluation and optimization with these parties. And we've been receiving highly positive feedback and results from them as well, and especially with the performance and the cost effectiveness of our products. So in the last few weeks, actually, we have talked with a battery company that focused on the fast charging characteristics of silicon, and we're going to provide samples for them in February for material evaluation. And also with a European-based battery manufacturer, we're advancing to a larger format pouch cell test after a successful completion of a coin cell test that we ran with them. And to give you a greater insight on the business side of things, over the past year, we have completed the construction and the buildup of our R&D scale-up center in South Korea. So in this facility, we have pilot scale equipment to manufacture, optimize, and also evaluate our silicon anode materials as a one-stop shop. So in the past, we would have these samples manufactured in different facilities, but this year we have procured all the necessary infrastructure, and this allows for quality control and real-time improvements in the lab itself. So because the work is more efficient, our products are being optimized at the fastest rate so far in the business. So with the scale-up center up and running, we have been rapidly responding to the feedback of our testing parties in the global EV battery supply chain. And we're currently on track meeting the specifications and the requirements from these players by making these real-time optimizations on our products. And with this, we are also on schedule for the construction of our commercial plant that will be capable of producing 240 tons of our materials per year. And that is 240,000 kilograms for the initial capacity. And to give you more information, this plant will be able to produce up to 2,000 to 5,000 tons of our silicon anode materials with the final capacity. So our management and engineering team are at continuous hard work, and we are more than confident in our capabilities and our silicon anode products to advance the next stages of commercialization.
Wow, it's been quite the year for you guys. That's great to hear. You've made so many steps forward. So let's talk about your recent news. So the company recently signed an MOU with a producer of high purity silicone, bisolar and semiconductor silicone byproduct waste recycling. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, of course. So by signing this MOU, we found a new opportunity to reduce our silicon input costs by an additional 40%. So our company currently uses one of the most cost-effective manufacturing methods for silicon anodes in the industry. But if we can double this with reduced input costs, we can attract many battery manufacturers and EV automakers to use silicon anodes in their products. So in the industry today, we obviously know from both the demand and supply factors, critical battery mineral prices are inflating. And to preserve margins and to reduce the overall battery cost to make EV prices attractive, both the battery manufacturers and automakers are highly sensitive to price increases in other materials used in the battery. So this is the reason why they are trying to find materials that work, but are also cheap as well. So by the cooperation that we have with this producer, Neo Battery Materials can have a major potential that one-ups our competitors, especially with price next to performance. So maybe the viewers don't know, but the solar and semiconductor industry generate a lot of silicon byproduct waste, which are usually disposed of because they don't have a recycled or secondary use. But by recycling this byproduct waste, we'll be able to produce cheaper, high purity, and more high quality silicon that we can use in our anode materials as well. And obviously, we know that there is an industry and a government trend for reducing carbon footprint. And if we can also recycle the silicon from the waste that is generated by the solar and semiconductor industry, we can effectively create a closed loop ecosystem, which is a circular economy for silicon nanomaterials. And that can be another check mark for our products as well. So this MOU can go a long way in terms of securing our silicon input supply as well. Because silicon prices fluctuate, especially silicon is used in a variety of products, solar, semiconductor, and also batteries. We can have a steady and stable source of silicon in the long run through this unique recycling process. And this can also serve as a differentiation strategy as well. So we are also talking about potential collaborative opportunity to enter into the North American market. So NEO can become a vertically integrated producer of silicon nanomaterials in this current market.
Yeah, that's very unique and efficient. So to refresh our memory, company is focused on silicon anode technology. Can you tell us the benefits of this technology compared to the traditional technology currently being used?
Yeah, so starting with the traditional technology, graphite is used in virtually all lithium-ion batteries today. So in your devices and in your electric vehicles, and they serve as the anode material or the negative electrode in the battery itself. But graphite comes with a few problems. First, it's with the limited runtime. So the industry says that it wants to reach 1,000-mile battery, but you can't do this with graphite alone. And also graphite has a slow charging problem. And because graphite is the largest component of the lithium-ion battery in terms of weight, it contributes to the inflating battery prices today. And the reason why silicon is such a hot topic in the battery industry today is because it's recognized as a catch-all solution for graphite. So not only can it solve all the problems that I've listed, it theoretically stores 9 to 10 times more capacity than graphite itself. And if it's processed right, it can enable an ultra-fast charging characteristic. So this is why the industry wants to use silicon. But there is a technical problem with silicon, and this is why the industry can't massively use it. There is a natural volume expansion that occurs when we charge our silicon. And what happens is that it expands by about 300%, which is 4 times. And after only 100 cycles, it's not usable. So right now on the commercial level, it's very hard to use silicon. So the industry is formulating unique manufacturing methods and solutions and know-hows to solve this problem. However, there are some silicon options out there that do perform well. However, cost is another issue. So right now, high-performance silicons are being produced at high cost, but obviously battery manufacturers and EV OEMs want low-cost anodes. So cost is another issue to solve. But Neo Battery Materials uses a one-step nanocoating process that coats low-cost materials onto the silicon to fight this technical problem. And we can realize all the listed benefits of using silicon at a low price.
Yeah, that really makes sense. So can you tell us more about the potential market size for silicon anode technology, along with any competition, and what sets you apart from your competitors?
Yeah, so because of the benefits I've listed about silicon, and the silicon anode market is expected to grow to about 15 billion USD by 2030, with approximately 170 million kilograms produced by 2028. And because the technical difficulty, which is a volume expansion problem, is hard to solve, there are only 3 competitors globally to commercialize their products. So because of this early stage technology, there's no dominant technology that yet exists for silicon anodes, which means that there is no dominant competitor that exists. And the problem right now, as I said, there is a scalability issue from the expensive manufacturing and also the expensive inputs that the current solution uses. So current options, if you do your silicon anode research, they contain silicon nanowires, silicon oxides, silicon carbides, as well as silicon carbon composites. But these products have a complex, sophisticated, energy-intensive manufacturing method, which are very expensive. So because of the scalability issue, only a small amount of material can be produced per one go. But NEO does not follow this industry standard, but we use a one-step nanocoating manufacturing process that is simple and energy efficient. So what we do is we take a different approach that does away with the complexities of the current solutions in the industry, but we use a straightforward process in which we coat low-cost materials onto the silicon that effectively controls the volume expansion problem. And also, Neo Battery Materials is the first in the industry to use and enable a 10 times cheaper silicon input called metallurgical grade or metal silicon. So because of both our cost effectiveness in the manufacturing process as well as inputs, this has attracted great interest by large players in the EV battery supply chain. So the highly scalable process, because of the low cost characteristics of our business, this has impressed industry experts, and they have commented that this is the correct R&D approach to silicon anodes if it wants to be used in the mass adoption of electric vehicle batteries today. And in terms of the performance, because we just use the silicon itself without modifying it or using different structures of silicon, we can realize a 70 to 80% higher initial capacity compared to competitors. So one of our large testing parties have validated that loading just 5% of our silicon into the anode material, that's the equivalent of loading 10% of our competitors' materials. So these battery manufacturers and the downstream customers that we have can realize more cost savings because they can use less materials but realize the same capacity by using our materials itself. So with a high performance silicon anode that can be produced at low cost, testing parties have been highly positive about the results of our products, and they understand that the potential that our silicon anode has, and that can be a scalable process that can be put into any types of electric vehicles.
Must be exciting to be at the forefront of this, new technology. So the company recently provided an update on the progress of the commercial plant that you're constructing. Can you tell us more about this, and why is this plant so important for your business?
Sure. So in December, we submitted a construction permit to the city, and we're expecting the construction permit approval to come out by the middle to end of January. So when the approval happens, we'll start with the initial construction work. And first is with the site clearance, so where the debris is all removed, because this is a greenfield project. And the basic civil engineering and the bid process to select the best contractor for construction will concurrently happen. So the commercialization engineering team is also in the process of finishing up the detailed design of the mass production lines that will be installed within the commercial plant. And in preparation for the construction, investors and the public may be wondering about financing because we need to get the commercial plant going on. So first of all, we're searching for non-dilutive funding opportunities in South Korea. And these are initiatives that target the clean technology and the EV sector, because South Korea wants to go forward with lithium-ion batteries and also securing the right kind of materials and supply chain and becoming a crucial factor in the electric vehicle industry. They are providing a lot of initiatives and non-dilutive funding for these kind of projects. So because we have an MOU with Gyeonggi province, and this is the province that our commercial plant is located in, we will work with the province to secure these kind of opportunities. And we have a high likelihood also to secure the non-dilutive funding that we're searching for. And we're also in talk with multiple South Korean financial institutions to secure strategic debt financing. So we regard making leads in business activities and progress important, but also protecting and maximizing our shareholders' value is as equally important. So we're seeking strategic investors that will stick around for the long term. And we don't want investors that just hop around investments, but we want investors that can provide resources and synergies that can enhance our capital structure, as well as support our business initiatives going forward. So further comment is confidential, so we will update our investors and the public with subsequent news releases on the financing part.
Yeah, that's great that you have a solid plan in place by the sounds of it. So when it comes to this year, what are some of the things that we should be looking out for? What are the things that we should be excited about for 2023? What gets you guys excited?
Yeah, sure. So in the beginning, we have mentioned that we have over 40 NDAs signed with global battery manufacturers, EV automakers, and chemical material companies. And these companies are highly attracted to the performance and the cost aspects of our silicon anode materials called NBM side. And we're actively undergoing product evaluation and optimization with these parties. And the feedback has been highly positive, and they've given us the approval that the performance of our products are getting better by the day. And they understand that our technology and inputs are the way to go in order for the wide-scale implementation of silicon anodes in electric vehicle batteries today. Because currently in the industry, because silicon anodes are highly priced, they're only put in the most premium EV vehicles today. But obviously, the battery manufacturers and EV automakers want silicon anodes to be placed in all kinds of make and models. This is the correct direction that the manufacturers have given us approval to go forward with using metallurgical grade silicon using the most cost-effective nanocoating process. So we're currently matching the specifications and the level of needs and requirements that these large EV battery players are asking us. And once these levels are met, the investors and the public can expect milestone deals such as joint development agreements, offtake agreements, collaboration agreements, and even joint ventures. And these joint ventures can also extend into funded expansion for our mass production lines into the North American and European regions in which the lithium-ion battery sector and the EV sector are rapidly growing. So even although a little different by the agreements that I've just said, the important point to take away is that collaboration with these large players will allow us to access more capacity, resources, expertise, and infrastructure to advance commercialization to the next stage. So we are in discussion with many players to find an opportunity, and we are confident in achieving our next step milestone deals with them as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting year. So we'll definitely have to have you back on for more updates at a later date. Finally, where's the best place for investors to find out more information on the company? Where should they go?
Yeah, so the best place to go first is the website. We have our presentation and our most recent webinar in January uploaded onto the website. And also, if investors and the public do have questions, they can email us at info@neobatterymaterials.com.
Wonderful, Danny. Well, thanks a lot for all those updates, and best of luck. Look forward to having you back on.
All right, thank you so much, Aaron.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.